So we're here with Roy Big Country Nelson, and Roy, you were just on one of the most watched MMA fights in the history of television. You got on there, took care of Kimbo Slice. How's it feel to be a part of that? I mean, it's pretty special for Spike TV, the UFC.
I mean, it's good to be, to be part of, something that big. But like right now, it's just another day at the office. I mean, hopefully that I can get, a couple more wins before I can make it to the finale. I mean, that was just one of the crossroads that I had to meet was go through Kimbo, and then after that, I still got to hopefully get two more.
And yesterday on the conference call, you were talking about how, you weren't one of those guys that was looking to go out and make your name by taking down a, former street fighter. You're like, hey, that's just part of the whole deal of going through this tournament.
Yeah, no, the biggest thing, Kimbo was actually one of the, we'll say, top three guys on Rampage's team for sure. So, the goal is to always get the easiest fight first and then kind of work your way into the finale. But, Rashad gave me Kimbo, and, I'm like, okay, whatever, and just take it what it is and just go out there and do what I had to do.
The other thing, too, is, you talk to everybody that's been on the show, and it's like they always have this weird thing about you're not used to living and training with people that you're going to fight, that you're trying to get a contract from. What was that situation like for you to deal with that whole?
It's actually, hard to, when you're roommate with the guy that you're going to fight, or even, one of your friends. So it's like, Rashad fighting Keith Jardine. It's very difficult to find, especially when you really like somebody to, go, oh, I'm going to punch you in your face. So, it kind of makes it a little difficult. That's why there's different, that's why we have submissions. I mean, it's a little bit easier than boxing where you're, trying to make someone bleed. This, you just go out there and just do what you got to do. Even with where you make sure you don't hurt them.
Dana White's been really high on your talent and your potential, but he's also offered some criticism too. Have you taken in any of the things he said and said, hey, maybe I should try that, or what do you think?
No, everything I take with Dana, I take and actually it's a full heart. He's been in the business for a very long time, so you got to take it. So. There's a lot of things that I agree with Dana, so it's just one of those things that I just got to execute.
Do you see yourself joining up with any camp? Are you with a camp since the taping finished?
After the taping finished, I improved. I actually work with Amir Sadala's striking coach Marco. As for all the other stuff, it's one of my good friends, old sparring partner, Dave Graham. He's kind of like my Greg Jackson. I don't really have a camp Extreme Couture, because right now you're still trying to figure everything out, because there's a lot of people that come out of the woodworks, and you always want to team yourself up with somebody that actually wants your best interests.
Yeah, true. And you've been kind of handling your whole career yourself, so I mean it's probably got to be hard to entrust that to somebody else at this point, right?
It's it's actually really hard to trust that with a lot, to somebody else, because sometimes they want what's in your best interest. I mean, because in the house, my mind was playing tricks on me. With Rashad and me fighting Kimbo, I didn't want to fight Kimbo, but he wanted me to fight Kimbo, and there could be a couple reasons. It could have been they wanted either Kimbo to eliminate me or me to eliminate Kimbo against because there's two guys from his camp that's on our team.
Yeah, you were talking about that too. I mean, how you'd expect Rashad to take care of his guys, right? I mean, why wouldn't he? You're not saying something crazy or conspiracy. That's
what I brought up, and that was one of our big, the week before with the coaches meeting or whatever when I was getting scolded, is I brought it to their attention, and then they kind of looked at me, with I had 6 eyeballs on my forehead, and I'm like, it's kind of a common sense thing.
And that wasn't, I'm trying to remember if that was shown on it wasn't shown on the show. So it kind of made you look like, hey, why do you have this attitude when, hey, I got a legitimate gripe here?
Right, so it's one of those things that, you take it, and there's the thing is, in the show, they're going to show one side of the story. They're never going to show both sides. So, you got to...
You think overall, though, so far in the first few episodes, they haven't really given the complete picture of you?
No, they've always, everybody's asked me, is that really what happened? And I'm like, yeah, it's what happened. It's just that's one side of the story. They don't show the whole other side where, you know, with the whole coaches meeting, I actually gave them a tongue lashing just as much as they gave me one.
Yeah, that's crazy because what can you do at this point? You're at the mercy of the editors, right?
Exactly. So you just, you know, you just on for the ride.
Yeah. What about how do you think they portray Kimbo? You know, like coming in, I think they got a lot of people now pulling for him because, you know, a lot of people just thought him as like a street brawler and nothing else.
I mean, they're portraying Kimbo as, you know, as the sponge. He wants to learn the whole 9 yards, and then they portray me as I'm a know-it-all that I just, you know, compared to the two. So it's like,
That's honestly, yeah, you're right.
so, but
Yeah.
the thing is I'm always the fighter that always wants to improve myself. So it's not that I know it all. It's just I know what works. You know, if it makes sense, I'm more than happy to do it. But if it's just stupid, it's stupid.
Well, hey man, we look forward to seeing you continue on this in this tournament, and thanks again for the time, man.
I appreciate it.